But there was two different kind of laws that Moses was given on Mount Sinai for the children of Israel to make them God's people and His nation. Of course, we just talked about the great law that was written with the finger of God. But there was another law. The first law written on stone was to endure forever. And that law was taken by Moses, and it was put inside a sacred chest called the Ark, which was the heart of the Hebrew worship, symbolizing that it was to be sacredly observed as a perpetual covenant between God and man and never done away with. But notice there was a second law. Moses was shown a vision of a heavenly sanctuary that he was to duplicate on this earth in an earthly sanctuary. And all the ceremonies and symbols that revolved around that earthly temple would represent God's plan to save mankind. It would point forward to the time when God would send His Son to die on this earth. All the symbols represented that work of God. But it was to be done away with the coming of Christ. And so, God directed that Moses should write it out. Now you see, if God had written it out, it would last forever, because whatever God does, it lasts forever. Nothing can be put to it or taken away from it. But when Moses wrote it out, it indicated that it would pass away. Moses wrote all of it out. In the book of Deuteronomy we read, "And it came to pass when Moses had made an end of writing the words of this law in a book," or a scroll, "until they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, Take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be there for a witness against thee. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord, and how much more after my death." So Moses put this law there with a prophecy that Israel would rebel as a testimony against them. And it was put in a little compartment in the side of the ark, but not inside the ark. The inside of the ark was reserved for that sacred law that was to endure forever. But the one that was to be done away with, that was against the children of Israel, that wasn't a law that was to endure, was placed inside the ark. And you need to remember this. Now when we get to Colossians chapter 2, you'll notice that when Jesus died on the cross, He blotted out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to the cross. Many people today are terrible